So I'm going to add my carrots tally on. Hey, Kelsey. Hi, Bernie. I hit record again. We're back going again. I knew it was going to time out. So no, I am not like trying to lose weight right now. I still am above what my pre-pregnancy weight is, but I think it's just because we've gained so much muscle with the programs we've been doing. So it's not something I'm focused on or concerned on. Like I wouldn't be upset to lose weight, but I'm not like actively going to lose weight because I'm still trying to keep my nursing supply and for as long as we can. So yeah, I'm just kind of eating in a place where I know I feel good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just surprised. I'm like, when he said to go up 2 brackets and then you kind of look at the weight category and there, I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm just going to stay in maintenance, which is C. So I still have basically the same amount of food as I was eating in 80 days is what it kind of boils down to. But
and it is like, you look at that and you're like, holy moly, a lot of food.
Yeah.
But once we get back in the like groove of doing it, like for me, I tend to be lazy and like just want to snack. If I actually focus on eating all the foods that are on my plan, I never want to snack and I constantly feel full. So something I'm looking forward to getting back into, like being in that place of not wanting to go get into the kids' snack cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little weird lately, that's for sure, for me too. Just moving, I mean, we, like at a drop of a hat, leave to go catch up with Chris in St. Louis, and then, yeah, but it's gotten a lot easier over the last year or so to find and then to make the good choices out, that's for sure. But man, there's always like, here's a little bit of bread and let's have a glass of wine. And so I'm like trying to keep that in perspective, like keep it under control. But man, summer just stinks sometimes for that.
It is. It's just constantly on the go, constantly. And
yeah,
even where like the 2B mindset principles have helped me a lot. Even though I haven't had like a structured plan, I've been focusing on the 2 bunnies and like making sure that I'm eating veggies most. Like before anything, I'm trying, like if I'm really being intentional, I'm eating veggies most and drinking water, like making sure I'm drinking water. And doing those 2 things, I think has kind of saved me during this phase of not being totally on a structured plan. So
sure.
That's like so simple, but it really has made a difference for me. Like even when we were on vacation, you know, like you go on vacation and it's like, what's going to happen? I want to get food. But I made sure that at every meal that we had, even if it was like us just making sandwiches to go out on the boat, like I made sure that I had a whole bunch of carrots with me, or I had a salad. Like my family made tacos and I just made a huge spinach. I turned it into like a big taco salad. Just making sure I had veggies always was really hard for me because I don't like veggies, but I'm coming around, and if I choose that, like I'm doing better in those weird scenarios where you're just not on the plan, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking back and I still had 2 fruits to fit in. So I added on a fruit with my lunch and a fruit with my afternoon snack. And I do on my meal plan just put fruit because I grab whatever fruit's on sale.
Okay.
Like I know on my grocery list, I need to have enough for 3 servings of fruit for myself, plus whatever the kids and hubby are going to get whatever's on sale. So I'm adding on my tallies. I have all my fruits. Okay, I need 4 reds per day, and I currently have 3. So I need to add another red on. And what I'm probably going to do, I saw it's at the bottom of the list. Like, you know how the lists are made in order of like what's the most nutritious and best value for you? I don't really care. I love turkey bacon. So I'm not giving up turkey bacon. I love turkey bacon. So turkey bacon's going to go on with my breakfast. So I get another red in there.
Yeah.
So you won't do like you won't split your 4 reds up throughout the whole day?
No, I will. Like you mean?
Yeah, because you have the Shakeology there.
I'm not so concerned about that. Like 80 Day Obsession, you know how she had us so like a red here, a red here, a red here.
Yeah.
This plan that he has, I don't know if you've like looked through the booklet. It's very like you put it where you want it.
Yeah, and I've loved that because it seems so much, there's just it's so much more liberating, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got so sick of just eating oh my gosh, it's time for this meal, and well, now I worked out at a different time, so now I need to change my meal structure. And
yeah, I totally agree. And there was 80 Day Obsession came at a perfect time for me because I had been really, really like out of control with my eating.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, there's a place and a time for that type of eating when you need to reel it back in. And that was really, really good for me. But I'm excited to do something a little bit different here with a little bit more flexibility. And I'll probably go back to that again at some point. But for right now, I'm kind of following what I read through this. And I was like, okay, cool. I just got to get them in during the day. So
yeah.
And then I'm also like 2B Mindset is teaching me to like listen to my body. So if I see that my body's not responding well to something that I'm doing on here, at least I have it down and I can listen to my body and go, okay, next week I need to make an alteration to that in some way. So
yeah.
Okay, so that got all my reds, yellows. See, I have yellows to add in. So I'm gonna put with my breakfast toast in the morning. Add that in. And I do like a whole grain toast. The really, really good one, if you like want to make the best choice possible, you can get like Ezekiel bread. Really, really healthy for you. But a lot of times I just do like Sara Lee whole grain bread. Or there's one, what's it called? What's the brand? Nature's Own. They have like a protein whole grain bread that I like, has a little bit of added protein to it. And so I do that. Because the girls like to eat like peanut butter sandwiches for lunch, and I know they're getting a little bit more protein when it's that kind of bread. And I need to add in one more yellow. Let's see. What do I want to add in? Oh, only on Sunday. The other days I have enough yellows. So Sunday, what am I going to add in?
Have you I noticed when I was watching some of the 2B Mindset videos, and she's, figuring out the carbs and all that, she shows that Dave's Killer Bread. Have you had that?
Yes.
And I was like so happy. I'm like, I love that stuff. And I use that all through 80 Day Obsession. And I was like so excited to see it was like one she had all over on her little video. I'm like, yes. And then I looked at it, I'm like, all the fiber and there's a little extra protein. And that to me is like, that's almost a treat to me. That with almond butter on it is like the best.
Yes, I totally agree.
What was it called? I missed that part.
It's that Dave's Killer Bread, and I find it at Sam's Club. So it's like the pieces are bigger and they're a little bit more that dense. They're that real dense bread, and they kind of have like the seeds on top of it, but it has, I want to say 120 calories for the slice, but it's enough you cut it in half and make a decent sized sandwich with it because it's a bigger piece of bread. And then I think there were like 5 grams of fiber in it. So it was well over that like 1 gram of fiber per 10 grams of carbs. So isn't that what it was? It's 1 gram of fiber for each 10. Isn't that what she says?
I think that's right.
So anyway, I was like, it exceeded that. I'm like, yay.
Yes.
And it's just delicious.
It is really good. That's another great option. And I like peanut butter, but a lot of times I do, when I do my toast, I do the vegan butter on it. I do, what's it called? Is it Earth's Best? I want to make sure I tell you right. Is that right? I want to look at it. Yes, that's it. Oh, Earth Balance. Earth Balance.
Oh, okay.
That's the butter I use. It looks just like this. See if it'll come up. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah.
Okay.
And I, a lot of times, will do the vegan one. Like, that's the organic one. The vegan one is red. And I just like the ingredients in it. The ingredients list is pretty solid. So I do that a lot of times. And I'll throw, if I really want it to be a treat, because I love stevia and cinnamon, like cinnamon sugar toast. I'll do a little bit of stevia on it with some cinnamon. And that's kind of my toast in the morning a lot of times.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like a cinnamon sugar toast. The girls are obsessed with it. They love it. Lizzie's always asking, can I have more? She can't say T sound, so she calls it coast. Can I have more coast?
That's cute.
Okay, and I'm looking over everything here on my tally list has been hit. Got it all filled out. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm simple, consistent breakfast every day. Even when I'm at my parents', they know the stuff I like to eat. So my mom will have it on hand, or if she doesn't, I'll run and go grab it and just bring whatever's left home, because I am out of town, you guys know, enough
Yeah.
that I can't use that as an excuse. Like, I just had to learn how to make it when I'm at my parents' or when I'm at my in-laws, or I do it on the go, make it work. So I just copy and paste it across. And look, I'm not even going to have a morning snack, and I'm cool with that. Because a lot of times the mornings are just crazy with the girls. And I really don't, like, getting breakfast in is enough of a time. Sounds funny that it takes time to, like, it seems like a time sucker to eat, but it is. So I just stay focused on them in the morning, and so not having a snack then is totally fine with me. Do you guys have any questions about how I did that? Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. So you kind of knocked out dinner first because it generally is the biggest meal for you.
Yeah, a lot of times I start with dinners just because they have the random container counts. Like,
Okay.
I mean, typically there's a red, a green, a yellow, sometimes a blue, but that's where, like, certain days are not exactly the same, and so then I can fill in the rest of it. Like, I know on Sunday I don't have enough yellows, so I'm going to add in here plus toast. I needed one more
Okay.
toast with. But for the most part, I just keep everything really redundant, and it's simple. I don't have to think about it. And there are enough, like, I feel like I'm constantly making decisions and choices and, like, all of that all day, every day. And if I can have this stuff, like, I don't have to even think about it.
Yeah.
It's repetitive. It's my favorite thing. That's where I am at my best, is when I don't have to think about this. So
That's
I
true.
do, like, you guys see the snack on the bottom there. I keep that on my template because sometimes one of my, like, I don't want to call it, I don't want to use negative language. I try to be really intentional about the ways I speak to myself. So I can get into just a habit. We'll call it a habit. It doesn't have to be bad. I can get into a habit of wanting to eat at night after the girls go to bed. Part of my, like, stress response when days have been crazy, like, I'll get into this place where I just want to watch a show and eat a whole bunch of popcorn, or, like, eat a snack, have a dessert, like something like that in the evening is sometimes a coping mechanism for me, and I find myself falling into that habit. So knowing that I do that, and knowing that I'm covering up, not wanting to deal with the feelings I have after they go to bed, you know, of just how hard that day was, I realize that I'm making food a, like, coping mechanism in the evenings. And so I honor that. Like, I realize that I'm doing that, and that, like, when I'm trying to be aware of it, I try to be intentional and put a snack in the evening that I know is going to be one that helps me and not hinders me. So that's why I have a snack option down there, because I know sometimes I get into a place where I want to have that snack in the evening to kind of unwind with. And so I've done, like on the Fixate cookbook, the peanut butter bars or those chickpea brownies that we love from 80 Day Obsession. Or I'll do like air pop popcorn, because I really like popcorn. And so then I'm doing some kind of yellow treat in the evening that is not out of my control. Like it's not something controlling me. I'm still in control of the choice. So that's why I have that there. If you're one of those kind of people who likes to, like yourself, and you like to eat food in the evening, that's the reason I have that on there. That's
Gotcha.
My way to stay ahead of that.
So you don't necessarily plan for it to be there. You just think kind of how the day's going, and maybe at dinner leave out a carb instead, or?
Yes, I do that. Like sometimes it's not on my plan, but there are literally seasons where like I get into a place of, I know, like planning my week out, this is the time because of whatever's happening in life. Like I know I'm going to need some me time after the girls are in bed. And so I will put it on there in certain times, like where I know it's happening. And then it also gives me that like reasoning, that way to like process that's on there. If it kind of hits me in the moment, I can kind of think,
gotcha,
what am I going to pull off to place in there? So I can stay ahead of it, and I'm not allowing my food to control me. I'm not allowing my emotions to control my food. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, and then like the way it is, you just accepted too that it's like, this is just who I am and what I am. I'm going to make it work for me instead of just beating yourself up every time about it. And that's what I've kind of come to with, and I know this sounds just terrible, like, why can't you just not have a cocktail with people? It's like, I'm just starting to come to the realization, like, I work hard on everything else. And if I want to socialize, it's going to be part of my life, whether it's good for me or bad necessarily. It just is. The thing is trying to find a way to control it and not turn it into, well, okay, I had too many of these and now I'm just beating myself up. It's like, just, okay, get over it. And like, just don't do that many the next time. But instead of just hating myself for doing it, when I know, like, I'm not going to ever eliminate this from my life, and that's okay. You know what I mean? I need to just be more forgiving about that and just not get out of control with it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
and I think one of the podcasts that has been super mindset shifting for me is the Life Coach School podcast with Brooke Castillo. I don't know if you listened to that one.
I watched, didn't you put one on our Facebook, that Facebook message that we have? I did watch that one, and she's blonde haired, like, yeah, I listened to the one that you had recommended, and I was like, I didn't like that particular one. I'm not saying I wouldn't like her, but I didn't like that particular one, but.
Okay. One of the things that she speaks to a lot of times is what she calls buffering. And it's where we don't enjoy the emotion we're feeling at the time. So we try to like cover it up by doing something else, like by binging shows, by eating food, by drinking alcohol, by like mindlessly scrolling on Facebook, like trying to detach ourselves from our lives in some way so that we don't have to experience the emotion that we're feeling that we don't really like in that moment. And that makes sense. That's where I have really come to terms with. That's what I was doing in the evenings when I just wanted to eat a whole bunch of food and watch a show. Like, I'm trying to like get out of the life experience that I'm wanting to feel. So like that, having that awareness, like as to what choice I'm going to make in that moment, if I know it ahead of time, and like just having that awareness about yourself and your decision making, I think that's where you are in control of it versus those things being in control of you and what's happening in the world.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll have to scroll through some more of hers and see. So she talks about buffering. Okay.
Buffering is how she.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like whenever you're deciding to do that, like having a drink with your friends or that kind of thing, like if it's just a you're going to go have it and you know you're in control of that choice, like that's great. That's totally fine. It's when it becomes something that like detaches you from experiencing what's happening in life.
Okay.
You're not wanting to feel whatever you're feeling, or it becomes that like way for you to numb whatever's going on. That's when it's an issue, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes complete sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got down and you sat down at the TV, you know, after everyone went to bed, and you're like, screw it, I'm just going to have something to drink. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's like, you already have plans for Thursday to go, you know, have a couple drinks with this friend you haven't seen in 3 months. Like, you already know what's going to happen is a different story. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of us in our groups, what I see and experience, a lot of us do that with food. Like our responses to what we eat has a lot to do with what emotions we're feeling from that day, or what's happening in our circumstances, or and so I just find that that's been really beneficial for me, and just being aware and knowing what is causing me to make certain choices. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. That's helpful.
Hey, I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay.
Let me see.
Bernie, have you listened to Rachel Hollis'